Well, thank you for allowing me to come in and just introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about the role that I do here at Three Links, how it originated, how it's a benefit to our employees. I will give you just a little bit of background information. So my name is April Kopack, used to be Schulze, now it's Kopack, and I began this position about 2.5 years ago, and it was sort of designed, I guess, or dreamed or thought of by our senior leadership team, who was experiencing a lot of just awareness of the challenges and difficulties sometimes that our staff goes through in order to just be able to work. So for example, we have a lot of individuals who have all kinds of things that come up that kind of prevent or can be a barrier for them to be successful here at Three Links or anywhere in their employment. And so that's what they were seeing. So they thought of this position, and I applied and was accepted to do that. What I sort of bring to the table is a background in mental health. So I did community-based mental health for 11 or 12 years, working with clients in the community, schools or their homes, and helping them develop social and emotional development skills related to all functional areas of their life. And so I think that was one of the perks that kind of brought that I sort of brought, I guess, to the position. And I'm really excited about it. It's started small and has just grown. So for example, I began seeing about maybe one person a day, and working on finding them resources or kind of troubleshooting what was happening for them in their life. And now I regularly see 3 to 4 people throughout the day. So we have staff that come and visit with me, and sometimes it's just talking about whatever challenge that's come up for them. It can be practical things. So I assist people with finding resources for transportation, financial options for them that they might qualify for in our communities. Childcare is a big one for our staff. We work with a lot of single parents, and they're kind of juggling all of that too. Sometimes other things come up, such as drug or alcohol abuse within a person's family, or if they're struggling themselves, they can come and talk to me about that. I'm a confidential resource to them, so nothing that we talk about gets put into an HR file or a personnel file, so they don't have to fear that there's going to be a repercussion or a consequence to disclosing information to me. I do follow, the mandated reporter guidelines, and so I usually disclose to our staff that come and talk to me that I do have some limitations, and I explain what those are so that they know. But everything else, that they want to talk about is in confidence, and I just assure them of that. And so what I usually do with our staff is kind of not only identify the goal or the resource that they want to attain that could be helpful to them, but also kind of the skills behind it. So for example, if somebody's coming in and they're saying, I don't have enough money, my paycheck doesn't last, till the end of the month, and I'm behind on my bills. Not only can we find them maybe some creative resources around that, but then also, what are some of the tools that we can put into place for them? Are they willing to work on, budget planning with me, or some of those other skills around that, specific skill set? And so that's kind of some of the background of the things that I do with our staff. I really enjoy working one-on-one with our staff. I do a lot of team kinds of things too, so you'll see me sometimes gathering within our household meetings or our staff meetings, and I'm kind of doing team builders, but usually I try to insert some sort of skill-based training behind it. So if it's communication skill or conflict resolution or something like that our staff could use. I also touch base with our director of staff development often, and kind of find out what are some of those other trainings that staff might need. So we do a really good job, training our staff with clinical skills, but what are some of those other workforce related, those soft skills, as what I call them in the workplace, that our staff could benefit from? And so I'm constantly gathering information from managers and talking to our staff development director about those things to see if we can put together some fun ways to help our staff grow and improve in the workplace. And managers, for you, this is a service that's also a benefit for managers. I do see everybody, and I talk to everybody, and then also to know that it's something that has really been encouraged by our organization, that managers, if you do see workforce or some people on your team struggling, to feel free to refer them to me, or if you feel comfortable, you can reach out to me directly and say, so and so, I've noticed this about them, I'm wondering if you could reach out to them, and that's what I do. So I like to build relationships with our staff so they feel comfortable coming down to meet with me, and they're encouraged to be able to do that on their work time. And most of them come to me after hours, after their work shifts, or on scheduled days off. I don't tend to see a lot of people abusing it. In fact, I should back up. I haven't had anybody abuse that privilege. In fact, most of the people in my office are usually pretty conscientious about the time and wanting to get back up to the floor to be able to help their teammates. So if they're going to be down in the office for a long period of time, usually I encourage them to let their supervisor know that they need to stop down to make sure their floor is covered. But just so you know, you might have some of those requests.